Mr. Nader got it, Rupesh Agarwalji, my colleague Mr. Tandon, Mr. Bhatia and the chairman over here, and the Virat Kohli of Ailbiea, and distinguished guests in the audience. First of all, when Mr. Jainji asked me to be a part of this function, I readily agreed. Because, as we all know, a culture, a society, a country is always rated how well they treat their seniors. And this is a function where they treat one of the doyens of the industry over here, Mr. Taparia. I said, this shows the quality and the rating of the association must be extremely high. This is an excellent association where I should be associated with. And secondly, I would like to thank the association along with a lot of other stakeholders over here, the customs brokers, a lot of industry, persons from the industry, who helped the customs to beat the challenge posed to the customs by the shipping lines. It is thanks to you only we could survive. Now, as my good colleague Mr. Tandon has said, that Ailbiea is stepping from 18th, the teens, it's going to be over the teens now. It is going into adulthood. I feel and I hope that Mr. Jain will be able to take it through the adulthood and must be a permanent adulthood so that it should never get aged. And I should hope that as he should be able to take it not only the silver jubilee, but I hope that with a great luck he should be able to make it the golden jubilee too. My first brush with the Ailbiea is when I just joined. I joined in the month of August. 2-3 weeks down the line, Ailbiea rang me up, said that, okay, they have a problem. And I found the problem to be very amusing too. They said that generally 2-3 importers or 5-6 importers charter a ship. The vessel will be coming with the same stuff. Maybe in the same hold also will be partition between different importers. But when the bill of entry has to be filed, each bill of entry has to take a sample and that has to be tested. Once it is released only, the goods can go. The simple request was that, look, sir, it is the same stuff. Why should it be tested 5-6 times, 10 times or 20 times? It looked very appealing to me because it's totally, even I could not understand what is the logic behind this. Because of the same material, what's the point in testing it again and again? So immediately I readily agreed, and that was the start of my interaction with Mr. Jain. As regards the points that he was mentioning, that currently also he has come to me with regard to the warehousing provisions, because we do have a problem with regard to we have given some time for everybody to comply with, but unless board comes out with some solution, because it's we have only delayed it up to half of the month only, so we need to come out with something, and I hope board will be able to come out with a solution for that. And it has to be treated something like a CFS so that the quantities can be stored in the warehouse, because liquid bulk as such has to be treated in a separate way than the bulk containers that we are doing. As regard the problem that he has raised with regard to the post of the JSR, I don't think you will have to worry. 2 posts of Additional Secretary Revenue has been sanctioned, and I think it should be put in any time. So once the Additional Secretary Revenue post is being pushed through, all this problem will be taken care of, and one will be in Bombay and one is supposed to be in Delhi, as far as the grapevine is concerned. So that should take care of your apprehensions too. And I find the Ailbiea is a very forthcoming organization, and they take their points, their problems to us, to the department very often. Because as we all know, neither the regulator nor the legislator who makes the law understand where the shoe pinches. It is only known to the person who actually does the work, who is the actual importer. He only knows where the shoe pinches, where the act pinches, where the procedure pinches. So unless he brings it to the notice of the regulator will be helpless. He thinks that the regulations are okay, perfect, nothing more to add, nothing more to delete. But in this regard, I should really commend the Ailbiea for bringing up all the pain points so that this could be relieved at the earliest. Now, he has been telling me, telling the meeting that we have been able to enforce a lot of changes at Navasheva. As we all know, and this problem with regard to the shipping line also started like that only. The government's new initiative of direct port delivery has been, I think now, as of today, we have been able to achieve almost 30% of the boxes are going under DPD. That is a huge increase from 6% of the boxes going in the month for the last 8 years almost on a consistent basis. 5 times increase we could do. And this has reduced the dwell time. That is the time that the box, after the box is put on the wharf, how much time it takes for the person to get the customs cleared. That time has been reduced substantially or drastically, I should say, from what we used to get around 9 to 12 days on average, which has been accepted by the World Bank also, which has been committed in the World Bank in their report, to currently almost 5 to 5.2 days. But here also, with all your help, if you are able to push it through, because understand one thing, the Singapore is only running at around 3.5 to 4 days is the dwell time for the Singapore. That is supposed to be the benchmark port, and that is the best port in the world with regard to that. If all of you push together, then we should be able to beat it. Because I can tell you, now the dwell time in Navasheva is almost 124 to 126 hours. The air cargo Mumbai is only 116. Understand that. We are not competing with other ports. The biggest ports in the country is competing with the air cargo, which is 115. We are short of 9 hours. But then, out of this 124 hours, 60% of the time is taken by the importer for the time after the assessment for payment of duty. So importer waits for 2 to 2.5 days for paying the duty. If all of you put together your effort, see that okay, it is being paid at least 24 hours, 48 hours in advance, then we will be the best in the world. We will be benchmarked rather than Singapore. So I request all your help in that regard. And my dear colleague has been mentioning about the AEO program. And I should tell you, I think it is all about money, honey. That is the saying. So the AEO is all about the money. Look into a situation where your imports are coming in, where you don't have to pay the tax and take out the goods. And if your volumes are huge, that cash you have to pay it only twice in a month, 15 days, once in 15 days. I think Bani is an expert in that, who has been giving regular classes over here. So that shows that your cash flows will improve tremendously. You bring the material in, sell it to the market, gets the money, pay the customs duty. Or you bring the material in, manufacture at your place, export it. By the time the export proceeds comes in, you pay the money to the customs. There is nothing to beat it. So kindly join the program, which will definitely increase the transaction time. Definitely reduce the transaction time and the cost also. It will be a real boon to the industry, and that is what we should aim for. There are certain other procedural things that Navasheva has started. As regards refunds, drawback, I think I can assure you that almost 50% of the times in a month, it is zero. So anybody exports it, you get the drawback on the immediate time. There is no pendency as such on our screens. As on 31st of March also, this time at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, we are zero. And almost every day we are able to make it. But with regard to refunds, there are a lot of problems. Some of the persons are also complaining that, okay, look, the refund claims get lost, papers get lost, there's always a problem. So we have started a digitization process, wherein you can file the refund claim through a public-private participation mode. We have entrusted the job to somebody who will scan the entire thing, give a soft copy of the thing to the person who filed the claim, so that for verification, and it acts as a sort of an acknowledgement, a sort of what he has deposited with the customs. If there is any variation in that one, he can always say, look, you have not scanned this copy. So that at any given point of time, you know that the claim is not being given on time, which now, as a statutory of 3 months, we have brought it down to 45 days. Now you are going to get it in 45 days. So in case if you are not getting it in time, kindly tell us so that the reconstruction of the files and the procedures will get much eased. But unfortunately, we are only getting 60% of the responses. I don't know why. It was something like that when we started the DPD also. People were refusing to come in. We have given the names of all the gentlemen who can, all the industry people who can avail the DPD. but people refused to come in. I even wrote personal letters to almost the 500 CEOs of this country, including, I think a lot of people are here. I could recognize them. I could recognize their companies also, requesting them, look, you are saving a huge amount of money. Some gentlemen, some industries are saving almost 10 to 15 crores of rupees at the minimum, which could be multiplied by at least 4 times, almost 60 to 70 crores of rupees per annum. But still, people refuse to come. And when, not only to the Indian industry, I am saying Indian importers, it has been the same position with the MNCs too. And with regard to one MNC, it was quite a hilarious sort of thing. The people from the industry came, said that okay, they will not take DPD because of all the reasons. I told them, look, these are the benefits that you can take it. These are the advantages that you are giving it. And still they were not convinced. Lastly, I have to tell them, look, if you don't become a DPD client, what I am going to do is write a letter in English, translate into the language known to your CEO, and send it across to him. Immediately, this gentleman agreed. So, that is what happened. But now, the moment people are entering, and moment people have seen the advantages of the DPD, they are coming over to us, thanking us, and sending letters of testimonies to us. So, I hope that you should also be telling your friends, now we are going to start the next wave of DPD, allowing every manufacturer to take DPD now. So, I think you should be in a position to encourage, and you should tell your friends to avail of this facility. With regard to the export also, we have made the export assessment 24/7 now. Another week's time we are going to post people so that there will be a deputy commissioner, assistant commissioner 24/7 either in the JNCH or in the parking plazas. So there will not be any export shutout because of that reason. I think whomsoever the persons who are in the export will definitely be able to take advantage of this. And with these few words, and wishing Mr. Taparia and the Ailbiea Chief Jayanji as a permanent adulthood. Thank you. Wishing you all the best.